right there on the computer. I guess it'd be more a couple weeks, but, I think first of the year it's supposed to be there. I mean, that's something every time somebody's booked or released, it automatically changes on that. And you can, that's just information getting out there.
You have your own IT guy?
No. Seth does a lot with the website, and he does the Facebook stuff as well for us. So, but we went through, I can't remember who the company was now off the top of my head, same one that MSPOA has used, and a lot of the sheriffs have used the same. It's a government, they do government websites, but they can put all the forms right there. I mean, our CD.
And yours has all your voluntary statement forms?
We're getting those implemented in there, so those things are, it reduces that phone call, you know. And that's hands on or feet on the ground that don't have to do something else. People can help themselves with that information. So, you know, that's just kind of the era we live in now with technology, so.
I think it would help in terms of county business you guys have to do. You can send documents, scan them, and put them on the website. People can look at them whenever they want to look at them. I would just say our website looks like it was designed about the time I graduated from high school, and so, you know, I've used it twice, and this thing's, I'm gonna go back to the phone book because it's easier to find stuff in our website. So a lot of people in the public anymore, they're relying on really well done government websites to get information and schedules and forms, all the things we've heard, and the policy documents. Legislature is really, really good about every single thing, including amendments on bills. You can get them on the website. You can get everything they look at, everything that a member gets on the record, every vote that they take. You even get, I'm not saying we want to get to that level because it'd be very expensive. It would be a huge amount of labor, but literally you can listen to their audio recording of their meeting. I mean, so obviously we'd have to figure out how ambitious we want to be, because it could be a lot of money and you know, a lot of manpower to do. But my guess, my opinion is that there's a place farther down the road towards user friendly that we need to get from where we are now. So that's my comment.
Sure, man. What did it cost for your website?
You know, off the top of my head, I don't remember. I know our interlink, we just had a discussion about it, was like $3,500 to interlink our jail roster to the webpage. You know, and that's a chunk of change. However, you know, statistically across the nation, you can reduce up to 70% of your phone calls in dispatch by doing that alone. So I can either pay it up front or pay somebody to answer the phone to keep answering the questions. So to me, it's, you know, over the long term, it's a lot more effective for me. But I want to say that whole webpage, I think, and there's quite a bit on it. I mean, it has our sex offenders logged on there. It's got mapping on it for our sex offenders and everything. I think it was right around 5,500.
That's a year or a
I
month?
don't think it's, no.
Or
That
just
was
a build.
That
One
was the
time.
build, yeah. And then I can't remember what the yearly is on it, but there's a maintenance side to it and everything else. But if you talk with Seth is the one that he's the point of contact for that company. He did a great job. And you can change it yourself. You can add things. It doesn't create a lot of headaches. So if you want to update something, you can. Like ours, there's a message from the sheriff. I can change that at any time. So if something's coming up, you have the opportunity to put something in there. So it's a great tool. You know, it's still just a tool. So.
It might be,
And one of the realities is if we do this, and I don't disagree that it's a good idea, but the holdback has been gonna have to have an employee dedicated to it. That means you've got staff, you've got ongoing responsibility for their payroll, for their benefits. So that's another thing that's held back. Maybe this needs to be a goal for the next budget, is holding back some money for an IT and web designer and web maintenance. So if you guys have some ideas on that too, appreciate it. Brandon?
If you guys wanna look at that company, it's Most Wanted Government Websites.
Thank you.
Dun, dun, dun. Since they want it better live, is that one of our options?
And they've got, I mean, our package that we got is, it's not their highfalutin one. I mean, they can get up there pretty serious. And it wasn't, some of the stuff on there wasn't completely astronomical, you know, but they do websites for very large agencies and stuff where they got 100 employees, so, you know, we might have 60 county employees, so, there's options out there. So, good folks to work with too, so.
I've worked with different businesses and entities that will contract someone to design a website and then maintain it, and it's cheaper than a full-time employee, but you make trade-offs then on how much stuff you're putting in, because if it turns into a full-time, then you're gonna pay a lot of money for that, so it might be worth looking at some other counties, and you know, the legislature, they're really probably the A grade, but they have multiple full-time employees that are running that all the time, so that's pretty ambitious, but there might be some other counties out there where you can look at some examples that, really, this is a customer service thing. This is a voters of Broward County want to access information, and more people do that online. And so I think it's more of a benefit to the people of the county, but obviously that all comes with a price. So scaling back to what we can do, but do more than we currently are is my recommendation.
All right,
I have one more question.
all right.
So one of the things that I've done from time to time in my military career is we call it a unit climate survey. And it's an anonymous survey of all the members of a particular unit, and a lot of questions of work environment, are my leaders competent? You break it down by officers and NCOs, and you always hate to see that because you often get, oh, who are these officers in this unit, you know? But there's a lot of different questions that you do, and you do it with a large enough group of people that you can't pinpoint, you know, if I only ask 4 guys, I can figure out which one doesn't like me, kind of thing. What it does is it gives us the ability to see trends in units, and then there's businesses that do the same deal. So I'd like to do that, but I only have 2 employees, so I would have to combine with a couple other departments to do that, or else it wouldn't be anonymous. And give employees an opportunity to give feedback. And the second thing that we often do is we call it a 360-degree assessment. And it's where, as a leader, I send out a invitation and questionnaire to people that are my peers in rank, that are my senior subordinate, or commanders that have higher rank than me, and then that are lower rank. And so I have people all the way around me, and you have to get enough people, you have to get like 8 or 10 to be able to actually conduct the survey. So again, it's anonymous, but what it gives you is we just call it 360-degree leader assessment. It gives us a really good and usually very humbling feedback on strengths and weaknesses and things that we can do better, and how we communicate, how we make decisions, how we analyze stuff across the board. So again, that's a tool that's out there it's not just military, it's out there on the open market. I'd be interested in trying both of those in this kind of, as part of this effort that we're all trying to do, but would need obviously participation across multiple departments in order to, otherwise you get employees that don't want to willingly do it because they'll be like, oh, my boss is going to find out, and you have to have enough people that there's some protection for the individual. So throwing that out there.
I think that's a great idea. We use it with the Board of Crime Control too. Are you guys game for something like that? See a couple of head nods? Maybe we can do county-wide, and that way it makes it even bigger, which adds to the anonymity for employees, for staff. Brian?
I don't have a problem with that, but I'm not sure how by including all county employees, how you drive it down to the department level.
Yeah, and there is that trade-off. Sometimes you lose particularity by getting enough to be anonymous. So they can help you design that, but that is one of the concerns. You can lose some effectiveness.
We've all got fairly small departments.
Right.
which would make it difficult to stay in August.
Right,
Depending
yeah,
on,
it may not be something.
Especially for Nicole, I mean,
I think
she
my
doesn't
last
know.
Yeah, it may not be something that we can do, but I think it's something we should at least try to look into. If it is not gonna work because we've got too small of departments and it's not gonna give us anything, then at least we would know that.
And then what may do is just more of the, small group or even one-on-one meetings as I know. We've tried some of that last year.
Yeah. All right, anything else? Okay, one last thing. The elected officials training is this week. Kirk, you'd missed one, or I think it was the first year you were elected. Are you gonna make that up this year?
I did not even aware that I had missed something.
You are elected, Chris.
Well,
What did I
anybody,
miss?
there's 2 elected officials trainings. The first year is general MCA personnel, the second year is the budget. And Mike, for you, the thinking behind that is they want commissioners to go through a budget season and then get a training on it, so that you have some grasp of knowledge to walk into a training. I think you missed the first one, when you were first
And was it,
elected.
and why did I miss it?
You were at another training, Republican training, I think. And I think you'd
I
sent
could
an
have been at,
email.
I could have been at judges school.
It wouldn't be at the same time because Mako coordinates with the other trainings. If you wanna know, I can find the email, and it was an email
I
that was
was
sent.
a mistake. First of all,
But-
I wouldn't have missed it if I wouldn't somewhere, but I can't imagine being anywhere but a judges school.
But if you wanna go, and
Yes,
this
I-
is open, we found out just this morning, this is open to all department heads. So anybody who wants to go, let us know if you do go, because there is a cost, county will pay for it. But you don't have to go to the whole thing, you can go to pieces of it.
When
So,
is it?
When is it?
I'm gonna give you all that rights right here. I was gonna print off the agenda, but we got it with Michelle this morning, and I forgot before running up here to be here by 10. So it's this week. So there's a social tonight, social and dinner. Tomorrow it starts at 7:30, registration. And from 8:15 to 10 is a temperament assessment. This is done by Dan Clark, and it's figuring out your personality and how you do things, how you work with others with the same personalities or different personalities. Mike's been through this before because he's laughing in the back row. It's a good training, but you really have to go through it to understand it. Insights into your own temperament and work style. Know the preferences and styles of others, and understand tools and techniques to be successful and productive in the personnel relationships when working with others. So that's the first one. The second is 10:15 to 11:30, and that's Introduction to County Government. That'll be an MCA review. Let's see, Constitutional and Statutory Obligations is the title behind that one. After lunch is included. Introduction to County Government continued, and know the roles and responsibilities of county commissioners. At 1:15 to 2:15 for 1 hour is county functions and services for the elected officials, from the elected officials' perspective. And that's a roundtable with a county attorney, clerk and recorder, treasurer, superintendent of schools, clerk of district court, sheriff of Gallatin County, justice of the peace, and moderator again, Dan Clark. From the local government center, know the essential service functions of county government and how services are delivered, and know the legal and operational relationships between the Board of County Commissioners, other elected officials, and department heads. Then in the afternoon is county functions and services from department heads' perspective. And that's with a planning director, road department, health department, weed department, and moderator. Same guy, Dan Clark, who is, if you don't know him, he is brilliant. And then procurement processes with Harold Blatty and Brian Hopkins. Then Wednesday starts at 8, public process in commission decision-making. I'm not gonna read all of it. Human resources at noon, on Wednesday, good for department heads, all of them, that's what Michelle said this morning. That afternoon, 1 to 3, Montana Code of Ethics, 3:15, local government law. Thursday, starting at 8, Montana legislative process. 10:15, navigating the legislature's law system and website. Corey was just talking about that. 11:15, the Montana Association of Counties and National Association of Counties, those resources. 1 o'clock, group risk-sharing pools. We are involved with 2, there are 3 with MACO. 2 o'clock, county special boards governance. And then that's it. So it's all on the MACO website. If you don't have it, I can send you a link. So if anybody's interested, I will also see if I can print off an agenda and send it out as a attachment. If that works. So you guys are all welcome. If you haven't been, there's 2. If you have only been to 1, pick up the second. If you've been to 2, you can still go and get a refresh. And if your department heads, you can go, just let us know so we can pay.
When is the budget one? You said there's a second one for budget?
That's the second year. So just the first week of December, right after the election is the first one, that's the overview. And then the following year is a week, the first week of December, and that's really focused on the budget, and then you're certified that you've attended the training.
Certified.
Yeah.
This in
I
Helena?
went to one.
It is, it's just in Helena at the Mako office. So just right next to the airport, easy commute from Townsend.
I went right after.
Been nice to have that about 2 months ago.
Well,
Because
elected
it's-
officials should have gotten it.
I
It should have
did.
been sent out. Department heads, we didn't know you guys could go, so I'm sorry for that. We just found out this morning. Had I known, had any of us known, I would imagine any one of the 3 of us would have let all of you guys know. So,
Well, if-
sorry about that.
If you could send it to me, I would like to
Absolutely.
at least go tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, meeting on prior obligations, unfortunately, but, rolling your eyes at me, really? Oh, but yeah, if you could send it, I'd
Yeah.
at least at 10 to, I've done that attitude thing, and I think I failed. But I don't know if it's a pass, fail, or just had to sit through it, but, I would like to at least have some of that other stuff though, so.
Excellent. All right, well, my only last parting comment, if nobody has anything, is we are the county leadership team. Those of us sitting in this room, as well as those who couldn't make it today, and we have a few excused absences. But we need to remember that what we do in these jobs, all of us, is for the citizens. Using these meetings for anything other than services for the citizens is a misuse of our time, their money, their trust. So, if there's nothing else, I would just say go forth and conquer. Win.
Can I add to that a little bit? And it's one of the
Please.
things that kind of does frustrate me a little bit, and I'm gonna be honest, is, and I brought it up several times here in the last few weeks, is, as commissioners, you guys are the subject matter expert when it comes to the budget process and how things are done. As a sheriff, would consider myself a subject matter expert when it comes to that dynamics, and the same with Doug, and the same with Corey, and the same with Judge, and everybody else. And I think sometimes, I even get it where people kind of start diving into my subject matter. And I would say, if we're gonna sit in the same room and hold hands and sing Kumbaya and work together for a common goal and purpose, that we realize that people are subject matter experts, and let them stay in their own realm and not overreach into other people's areas of expertise. That is a frustrating part for me, is when people try to tell me how to be sheriff. I got some years at this, not as sheriff, but in law enforcement, and I've trained every person that works in my office, so I think I have an idea. So I would just ask, that would be one of those things, that if we're gonna move forward and working together, that we understand that there's people who have a better understanding than what we do. And I can't tell you how to do your job, and I would expect the same respect in that same if that works.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think that's pretty much across the board. So, thank you for that. Across the board, meaning that's true of everybody. You're experts in your own fields, so, as are we. All right, anything else? See a hand? Okay. All right, anything else for the good of the order? We three have a afternoon quick meeting, 1:30, 2 o'clock, what works for you guys?
Let's do. Okay, that works.
1:30?
I will have hearings in here from 1 till 5.
And I was just gonna say, since it's closed door, we'll meet downstairs.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Kirk. And that is
I have
personnel?
Protections and some people,
Okay. And then tomorrow we
a bunch of stuff.
if you want to do it here, in your office.
All right, so anything else for the good of the order? Last call.
Just
Court.
reminder, we're on for tomorrow with Alan McCormick,
Perfect.
tomorrow morning.
Okay, where will that be, in here? Or,
Well, so I'm doing court and the meeting, so I'm gonna intro the meeting, and then I'm gonna go to court, and then I'm gonna come back, kind of thing. So,
okay,
depends on how many folks are, well, where do you wanna have court tomorrow? It's up to you.
If you did this, I could do it in, I mean, it's just all needs and changes of please.
we could go to the jury room if that's not needed by you guys.
Nobody will be in there
Yeah,
tomorrow.
we'll be in there.
Would that work?
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, all right, so 10 o'clock for us.
I believe it's 10, yeah.
Okay, all right. All right, last call, guys. Got the gavel, ready to pound. All right, this meeting is adjourned at 12:03. Well, recessed at 12:03, and our closed door will be, in the interest of protecting the individual's right to know, but the rest of the public.
Not bad. Just to clarify, so I need to go to.
It is, but it,
I'll just like. I do not. How many of those?
Well, we'd like to get out of here.
You get certified.
So I can build whatever requirements.
Need somebody to instruct you on Robert's rules.
I'm just gonna send you the whole thing, and you can just look at it yourself, see what you think.